Okay, welcome back. Music enabled, not disabled. Cool. Buttons pressing all these things. It's a best of 3 semifinals here in the Home Story Cup 9 North America qualifiers. It's a ZVZ. And let's hop right into the action. Spotted here in the top left corner of the map. He is the Blue Zerg, Violet. And his opponent down here to the south. He's pink. He was not the likely player to make it here today, but it is IVD's phog. I've got nothing against phog, guys. I think his ZVD's pretty darn good, but I thought QXC was going to take that series. He just had to be the favorite when it came down to, I think, popular opinion combined with results. But phog looking for a way to make a name for himself. This would certainly be a way to do it. Both players open up with earlier pools. I think one was a 9 pool, the other was a 10 pool. Not gonna. I don't. The actual numbers not gonna influence it that much, as they both end up coming out 11-11 as they extract trick one another. This is gonna be awkward. I've only ever seen this like once before in recent days, and both players just chose to disengage after running into each other's lings coming across the middle of the map. But the Overlords scout one another. They know where the other base is, so they're gonna be sending lings straight across the map, and it's gonna be weird. Bottom line, it's gonna be weird. Now, as far as how this will end up playing out, what's kind of nice is because they've both chosen to do stupid things, they're both going to have to reel back off of this. But actually, Violet has foregone his queen. He's actually going to fully dedicate to this. If he pulled a drone and went for a spine crawler too, I would absolutely love the way this plays out. But phog is actually, due to spawn locations on the map, going to run into Violet a little bit later. I mean, granted, they'll still run into each other at the same time, but the awkward thing is the high ground vision for Violet, if he had been aware of this. Phog, though, I think scouted that with the Overlord, so he knows what's up. Yeah, that's the advantage he has, knowing that Zerglings are coming his way, rather than the other way around. Violet has no idea, because the Overlord doesn't get to the base until just now. So phog, with a bit of scouting advantage in the spawn location, is going to work out very nicely for him. But hold positioning on the ramp, he doesn't know whether he has the advantage or not. It is 10 lings versus 10 lings. The difference is all 10 of phog's lings are at home, whereas Violet's are simply coming across the map. Recognizing this, he gets a first hit off. That doesn't seem like much, so that's enough to send Violet back for the time being. First question, who is going to give up first on the aggression? They both started droning and queens are out, of course, but who's going to be crazy enough to take the natural base? Who's going to try and take this fight? Nobody's lost a single Zergling just yet, but that's going to change here. Pop.
First blood.
But as far as the unit count station goes, guys, spirals out of control very quickly here in the favor of Violet, and now phog, he doesn't have a lot left to fight with. That being said, a queen will hold him quite nicely. In fact, he has 2. A Bailey nest is being made, and I think he's thinking there's a little bit more coming from Violet than there really is. Violet looks like he's not going for his own Bailey nest just yet. May end up just going straight to his own natural. He's got the gas to do it if he wants to, but I think he's going to go for metabolic boost instead. Queen's going to snip off these, certainly send him back, and then phog going to try and establish a natural base while this is happening. But for Violet, the clock is ticking. That natural base is coming down now, but I feel it's a bit later than perhaps should have been. Winning that first Zergling fight should have been a very clear sign that it was a safe bet to take that base. But for phog, I don't think this is going to be that straight passive game to roaches. He's building the Baneling nest now. Granted, he may just end up using this for 1 or 2 Zerglings to make it a Banelings. But quite frankly, with the way this is kind of open for him, it might just be better to go for that sort of crazy attack and hope to catch Violet off guard. One way or another, not going to be easy. Both players have metabolic boost on the way. Of course, Violet's going to be up much faster than phog's. And Violet is actually looking to put on a lot more Banelings or Zerglings into this. So it's that 5-minute, 6-minute mark. This is normally you'd have larva cuts on both bases, but Violet only has the 1 to work off of. So while this initially looks really scary, oh, actually these queens, if they get caught in the middle of the map, this is going to suck a lot. This is a huge investment to lose to a couple things. At any rate, even if he gets across the map here, it's not going to be with a ton of Zerglings, because he doesn't have all that extra larva to work with. I do like that phog pulled one of his queens back. It wasn't really stupid to have 2 out here. He'll get the Overlord kill. That'll be nice. He'll even kill these 2 lings. Even nicer. But metabolic boost is finished up, and he's gotta start heading back. A Baneling pops out, and it will kill these Zerglings before they kill the queen. That's for sure. Looking to zone these out. Good control so far out of phog. Really dancing around nicely. Unfortunately, the queen's still going to go down in the end by the looks of it. So loses the Baneling and loses the queen. Not a good trade. Could have been really good. Unfortunately, Violet's control just a little bit better than phog's. Phog's metabolic boost still hasn't finished yet, so he can't quite keep up with these lings that are boosting it into the main. God, this is how I imagine fish fight in like a river. See who can get back home to like the spawning pool first. Ha! Get it? I didn't even mean because of Zerg. I meant because that's how salmon work. And if you ever watch the Magic School Bus, you'll know how and why they do that, alright? But okay. We had a bit of a misclick there. I think there was Burrow for like a half of a second, but cancels it right away. Bantley's on the front lines for Violet will mean Phog's going to run right into them. Oh, those corpses go flying. Goal! Coming back home, though, he's going to have to make a couple more Banleys of his own. The creep spread is really nice, actually. I really hate... There's a lot of people who, like, over-criticize creep spread. There are times where maybe you don't want to have creep spread because, yeah, okay, it gives a speed bonus to your opponents, but I really like that it gives vision more than anything else. Right now, Overlords will do that, but eventually the Overlords will have to be sent back home. They'll be picked off, whether it's Hydralisks or whether it's Mutalisks or even Queens. But the creep's always going to be vision. That's not easily cleaned up. Not till later on. Overseers come out eventually, granted, but yeah, usually much later on. But third base on the way for Phog, and we don't see a layer out just yet. So this third base being up so early is, I don't know, I feel unnecessary almost. The only time you really rush out of third base is if you're trying to amp your protection or if you're going for Mutalisks. Unfortunately, he's doing neither, and Violet's already making roaches. So this is not going to be easy for poor Phog. If he's got enough Zerglings, low amounts of roaches can be dealt with fairly easily, but it's not going to be a low amount of Zerglings, or low amount of roaches. This is going to be like 18 or something roaches by the time it's all said and done. Yeah, there's 9 available, 7 more on the way. Okay, so 16 roaches. Whatever, so sue me. Math, right? Psh, what is it, school? Anyways, one Overlord can be picked off here. This is actually a really nice move because this allows them to move out, and seeing that there's no control of the watchtower, he knows that there's nothing that's going to see these coming if he hugs the wall. So Violet is going to catch Phog a little off guard. Phog recognizing like, okay, why would you pick off my Overlord? Unless you were sending something my way. So he sees the Zerglings. Oh, he's about to find out the roaches. He sees the roaches. This is a bit of a heartbreaking moment because what he has right now doesn't really contend with the roaches. We've got more Banleys coming in. This is a combination to deal with the Zerglings, but also to provide some splash damage on those roaches. Good first hit with the Banley, but it's only one hit. These roaches are... if there's a full surround, maybe he can take a fight. If a couple Banleys will go off, maybe he can take a fight. But that's a lot of Banleys coming out of Violet to prevent what I just described from going down. Phog's gonna get a couple of good hits there, but there's too many roaches and just not enough defense. There's not even a spine crawler down. This is looking really bad for Phog. Drones are already pulled into this. There's a couple Banleys here, though, so he's got to be very careful. He can't necessarily pull everything. He's actually losing a bit of panic here, Violet, that is, but still, Phog is going to go down. The army supply is way too big. There's no way to equalize this. GG is called. Game number 1 is going to go in the favor of Violet.